Welcome back to True Geordie Extra, the home of your combat sports videos on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. And today we're talking Tyson Fury, Oleksandr Usyk. It's dead. It's finished. Apparently it's not happening. And you know what? Imagine my shock. Call me surprised. I never seen this coming. You know, it's funny that the fights against Derek Chisora and Dillian White, who are basically carbon copies of each other, slow, plodding fighters who basically don't have a great tool set, in my opinion. Very tough, but are very easy wins for Tyson Fury. Makes them no problem. Boom, done. Get them in the ring, no problem. Usyk, AJ, just can't get them over the line. I wonder why. It's almost like he wants the easiest fights for the most money. I'm not saying Fury is scared of AJ or scared of Usyk, but he does not want to have the hard work to prove he is a true champion. He wants them easy fights for the most money because this man does not care about legacy, doesn't care about proving he's the greatest, doesn't care about the fans and giving them good fights. He doesn't give a monkeys about all you lot. And all you lot who've been taken in by him, as I once was myself, don't get me wrong. I thought he was a legend, and don't get me wrong, I still rate him as a fighter, but all of this mental health chat and all of that sort of stuff, he suckered me in. But the bottom line is, this man doesn't give a monkeys, man. All he cares about is himself and the money. And once you understand that, you'll see things for what they really are. Now, in reality, this fight should have been incredibly easy to make. Oleksandr Usyk has 3 belts. He took them all off AJ. Fury has 1 belt, but a bigger following. You go 50-50. Boom. Fight is made. 1 champion, 1 crowned king. End of discussion. And if that is really what it matters to these fighters, is proving you're the best, you'll do everything to make that happen. When 2 fighters want to make a fight, the fight happens. But let's look at what did happen. At first, Frank Warren suggested this is an easy fight to make. It'll be 50-50. Wrong. Not when you're with greedy belly. From my understanding, the initial offer came over from Saudi to have both men fight there. Usyk accepts that offer. Fury declines. First rejection. Usyk offers 50-50. Fury declines. Usyk offers 60-40 to the winner. Fury declines. Fury then completely lowballs Usyk, says 70-30, take it or leave it, and he really thought Usyk wasn't going to accept that. But Usyk accepts, so we have a fight on our hands. Fantastic. The fact that Usyk accepted that really showed the balls on this geezer. And look, in the rematch, the split would have been, I think, more fair, which I think is really a fair concession for Usyk to make. I'll give you the lion's share now, but I wanted a fair share in the rematch. You're not going to get that. You're not going to get treated like an equal by someone whose head is up their own arse. And the ironic thing is Anthony Joshua, the bodybuilder, as Fury calls him, made the fight with Usyk easily. Even when people were telling him, drop the belt, skip that fight, go straight for Fury, he took on all comers. And if there's one thing, ironically, that this has shown, is what a true champion Anthony Joshua was, because he made that deal with Usyk with ease. And let's not forget, Anthony Joshua at that time was the biggest pay-per-view star Britain had seen in decades. Fury's grown his pay-per-views, don't get me wrong, but he has never had pay-per-views to the level that Anthony Joshua has. And yet AJ was able to come down off his high horse, no problem, and make the deal with Usyk, but Fury won't. Make that make sense, Fury fanboys. You can't. And Fury has a track record of this kind of bullshit with AJ, with other fighters in the past, and Usyk has a clean track record of being very easy to deal with, makes fights no problem, fights you in your own back garden, gives into a lot of the demands to collect the belts because he is a real champion and he does care about legacy. But he also doesn't want to be made a mug out of by someone who is his equal at the very least. And at best, he's got 3 belts to your 1. The Furies, man, they're a nightmare. Big John Fury, there's me hand, there's me heart. That contract is as good as signed. Afterwards, we don't do contracts, we're not lawyers. They will say anything to your face and go away and do whatever the fuck they want. They do not mean a word of what they say. The amount of Fury fans who slated me for pulling him up on Chisora, I'm expecting some apologies in the fucking comments. Do you know the ironic thing is that Chisora fight was a warm-up for Usyk. Like, he was in negotiations with Usyk and it was like, no, I need a warm-up. It's like, Chisora, it's not even a like for like. What kind of warm-up is this? And then you're going to charge a record pay-per-view price to to get in there with a guy you've already beaten twice, and his fans are just lapping it up like absolute clowns, having a go at me for even questioning it. But like, oh no, but he'll beat them all. He'll get on to Usyk next, will he? All right, I'll shut up then. Here we are, and he's probably going to fight fucking Francis Ngannou next, or whoever. Francis Ngannou, his first ever boxing match, and you'll lap it right up, won't you? Like mother's milk. This is why people don't like me, is because I tell them the truth, and yes, I do it in a cocky way, and I have fun with it. But come on, you guys slated me. You deserve to take a bit back. And we all know Tyson Fury is going to come out and call Usyk all of the names, blame it all on him. Oh, he ducked me, he's a chicken, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, mate, the guy took 30% to your 70 when he's got 3 belts to your 1. You're a fraud. They should call him Tyson Fraudy. Fury likes to call himself the greatest of all time, and his fans buy into that. And when you actually look into what he's done compared to the other greats, it's not even close. I think Muhammad Ali had like 30 world title fights. Lennox Lewis had like nearly 20. Fury's had 6. You're in single digits. You're not even in that conversation yet. Yes, what we've seen from Fury has been fantastic at times, but you can't just call yourself the greatest of all time when you haven't even beaten everyone in your era. Muhammad Ali beat everyone in 2 eras over a 20-year period or something. Lennox Lewis, his record is a who's who of the 90s. My days. You haven't even got as many title fights as Mike Tyson. I think he's got like 6 title fights. 3 of them are against the same guy in Deontay Wilder. 2 were against Chisora and Dillian White, who, let's be real, what they were. And 1 was against Klitschko. You can't even be in the conversation yet. But the problem is, in this generation, the spinning of a narrative, everyone just jumps on a bandwagon, believes everything they hear without actually cross-examining everything, because God forbid anyone actually asks Fury to justify anything he says. Everyone likes to call Simon Jordan the godfather of boxing interviews, and yet Eddie Hearn ran rings around him the other day, and Frank Warren got the softest fucking go of his life off of him. Where's my credit? I'm just, you know what I mean? It's a joke, man. You know, you're thinking, how many top 15 heavyweights has he actually beaten Tyson Fury? Wilder, Dillian White, and Otto Wallen. And that was fucking razor close, wasn't it? I mean, Wallen nearly had him fucking stopped from the cut. Does he even want to do the work of carrying all of those belts and defending them all? Because it's a lot easier to just tell your audience, hey, I'm the greatest of all time. And then everyone just goes, yeah, he beat Chisora 3 times, so yeah, it seems legit. No one fucking looks into anything here. We just yes men. Fury calls himself the GOAT, but right now he looks more like a duck. Sorry, mate. You did this to yourself, boy. And people are going to think that I'm saying he doesn't want to fight these people because he's scared. I don't think it's about being scared. It's about, you can make the same money fighting much easier guys because you've got an audience who will buy that crappy Chisora 3 fight. So why bother putting it on the line against a Usyk who really is a challenge? If you're not wired to be a true champion, and that's not your drive, and your drive is just money, which is provable, then why do it? He doesn't feel the need to. But just say that then, but you can't, because once you say that, people aren't going to be invested in you. They're not going to believe in you as much. But you know what? It's happening anyway. He's been exposed, because as smart as Tyson Fury is, and this man's a great manipulator of the masses, he's nowhere near as smart as he thinks he is. Can't even put the phone down properly. Have you worked out how to close this phone? I think I know why he doesn't want to fight Oleksandr Usyk. Because if you look at those Derek Chisora and Dillian White fights, yes, he was enough to beat them, but he didn't look the sharpest we've seen him. He didn't look as quick. He didn't look as athletic in those fights. And yeah, he had the reach advantage and the jab. That was enough to take those guys out. But the miles on the clock from those Wilder fights, especially in the Wilder 3 fight where he looked slower and sloppier than we've seen him in a long time, and he had hell with Deontay Wilder in that fight, we're seeing him slow down. Is he still a top heavyweight? Absolutely. But you have to be at your absolute best to beat an Oleksandr Usyk. And I'll tell you why. So these are the stats from Usyk versus AJ, the rematch. And as you can see here, Oleksandr Usyk threw 712 punches. In Tyson Fury's last decision, the 3rd fight against Wilder, he threw 385. The point I'm making here is to win a decision against Oleksandr Usyk, the way he fights, the man collects 3 rounds at the start of a fight. Before you've even gotten into the fight, he's got 3 rounds on you. you. And he excels at the end of the fight and always takes the last 3 rounds. So 6 rounds, he is banking before we're even in a fight here. This is how he's a mastermind. That means even if you win every round that he leaves available, the best you're hoping for is a draw. And let's be real, that's why he 9-3'd Anthony Joshua 2 fights in a row. Anthony Joshua, being a bigger man, struggled to keep up with the level of output. And Anthony Joshua is a smaller man than Tyson Fury is. He's like 18 stone. Fury comes in at 20 stone. So it would arguably be even harder for him, or at the very least just as hard. You have to knock Usyk out. And how many times has Usyk been on the deck in his pro boxing career? 0. Tyson Fury's been on the deck a good few times by comparison. He is an expert at winning boxing matches. So Fury would have to knock him out. If you're struggling to land on him because this little man does not stop moving like a fucking windscreen wiper, you can't put your hands on him. That's why he's never been knocked down. It's very hard to hit him. And when he does get hit, he knows what to do. Oh, and by the way, he's throwing double the punches you are. Why would you want to fight Usyk? I'm not saying Usyk couldn't be knocked out by Fury, but it's a fucking hard fight, and he doesn't want it. This is the 10th round of Fury versus Wilder 3. The last decision Fury went to, and as you can see, both big men are very tired. It's not all out action here. They're getting their rests in where they can. They're clinching. Fury's still hurting him. Still got power in those arms. But remember, Deontay Wilder threw even less punches than Fury. So Fury has not been pushed anywhere near the way Usyk would push him. Usyk will have you chasing him around, and that is why Usyk gasses people out. He gassed out Tony Bellew. Look at this. It's significantly drained fighters here. And Fury's got the better cardio than Wilder, don't get me wrong, but it's hardly, high intensity at this stage. It's grueling, and look, that's what Fury would have to do to Usyk. Close him down, get him against the ropes, and batter him as best as he could. But it's a lot harder against a guy whose feet never stop moving. You get the point. Now I'm going to show you round 10 of Usyk versus Anthony Joshua 2. Same exact round. So this is them coming up for the 10th round, and as you can see, Anthony Joshua there taking every single second of rest he can get. Why? Because Usyk is gassing him out. Look at the difference in pace. You'll see it immediately. Look at that. Look how light on his feet Usyk is, even still in the 10th round. It's unrecognizable from what we've just been watching. And this is against a smaller, more agile man, and he's still ducking punches and turning him round and lighting him up. This is why Tyson Fury doesn't want this problem. Boom. Look at that, man. This is nothing like what we've just watched in the 10th round. Nothing like it. Look at that movement, man. Now you see us, now you don't. Pop round the corner, pop, pop, pop. And yeah, some of these shots aren't that hard, but he's constantly giving AJ problems and making him think, and all of this is draining the energy. Fury actually threw about 55 punches in round 10, Usyk 95. That's what I'm talking about, and I'm just making this point not to say that Usyk beats Fury automatically at all. I'm not saying that, but for all of the Fury fans who act like Usyk is not a problem, you're delusional, man. And that's just the work rate. I'm not even talking about the speed, the footwork, the ring IQ, the fact that he's a southpaw. All of these things are going to cause him problems, and he just wants an easy ride. Do I think Fury in a back lane somewhere, if he squared off with Usyk, would run away? Not at all. But would he rather fight someone easier for the same money? Yeah, 100%. Because the guy isn't what he says he is, man. This true champion bollocks. And to be honest with you, this just shows what a true champion Anthony Joshua was the entire time. He's gone up in my estimations from this whole shit show. So yeah, that's my take on it. I know this will have pissed a few off. For a change, leave your hate in the comments below. I do appreciate every comment. It all helps. And also, I think we need to stop calling Tyson Fury the Gypsy King, because you can't be a king if you don't defend your throne. Do you like that? That's good, that, isn't it? That's good. The Gypsy Duck. That doesn't quite work, does it? We'll have to think of something else. Tyson Frody. We'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.